I booked a one-way flight to Paris and didn't know when the fuck I was coming back, okay? Didn't care. I was just getting over there and I was gonna figure out what I wanted to do once I was over there. Bonjour, je suis Dash. Bienvenue sur ma chaîne. Hey girl, hey, welcome back to my channel. This is a video that I have been holding back on because I was trying to find the right timing to do it, but it's really no right timing to do this shit because what if you want to solo travel tomorrow, right? So I wanted to do this video. This is a solo travel checklist. This one's for the girls. This is what I recommend. This is what I use whenever I would travel to close places like Jamaica and Cabo. This is what I would use when I'm traveling to far places like Europe, okay? So these are things that I 100% recommend you do. You'll see a lot of people talk about these things in videos on TikTok, videos on YouTube, stuff like that. But I wanted to give y'all one from my perspective, a girl who is not a fucking minimalist by any goddamn degree, okay? Everything over the top, nothing mediocre, including when I motherfucking travel, okay? So that's what this travel list is going to give you. It's not for a basic bitch. It's for a bitch who is going to check 2 bags. I'm just going to let you know right now, okay? Now, first things first, you need to pack every unnecessary item that you could need, okay? Emphasis on could need, because this isn't even essentials. You have your essentials and shit. This is the things that you could need. So this means extra mirrors. So I had bought one of those mirrors off Amazon. I'm going to put my Amazon storefront link below as well because that's just easier than me trying to put every fucking thing on the screen. I'm not doing that right now. Don't feel like it, okay? But it's one of those mirrors that open up and you can just push the button and it's like a little, you can put it in your purse. You know what I mean? And it has a light on it. Love it. But be very careful with it because I did put it in my backpack and it did break. So that was super fucking disappointing and a waste of $16.99. But it is what it is. And it's definitely worth the expense. And I would buy another one. Okay? Now, the next thing is portable chargers. Buy 2 of them. I had 2 portable chargers on me at all times. Meaning, and the best thing, this was super important in Europe. Because if I'm out and about and I have to fucking go home because I need to be able to use my maps to get back to my hotel and I have to leave early because my phone's finna die, that's gonna piss you off. And that did happen to me one time because I had another portable charger by Anchor is the brand. And Anchor is one I recommend. It does really well. You can get 2 full charges out of it if it's fully charged. And I had an Anchor and I had the little pink one, which I don't remember what it's called, but you'll see it if you just search portable chargers. The little one that plugs into the bottom of your phone. That one's a good one too. It's in my storefront. Totally recommend both of those because it's nothing less convenient than having to go home in the middle of your fucking day of exploring a random fucking country because your phone's about to fucking die and you need to be able to make it back. Okay, so that's annoying. The next thing is and I think I put the other adapters on here as well, but if not, hell yes, the adapters. And I recommend a world travel adapter kit. They have those on Amazon as well, where you'll have them for Italy, Europe, and somewhere else. I don't know what the other country is, but it's not even expensive, maybe $25, but you'll have all those chargers, and I 100% use that shit. And I wish I had multiple when I was in Paris because every fucking outlet was... that's why I love Paris. They don't give a fuck. They not here to fucking be convenient for Americans. They don't give a damn. They don't give a damn. And I fuck with that. You know what I mean? I fuck with it. I ain't gonna lie. But I definitely needed that shit everywhere. Everywhere I went within like the hotel. Certain places like more... Like, okay, when I stayed because I stayed in multiple different places. So when I stayed in the boutique hotel, which I love, which was Belchas. I'll put the words on the screen because it's long. When I stayed in Belchas is a very beautiful, beautiful hotel. Every room is designed by a custom artist, or every room is custom designed by an artist. Christian LaCroix, beautiful, loved it. And it was it was the first place that I stayed when I got there, and I was treated so well. They greeted me with champagne in my room. I had a complimentary gift for champagne at the bar. I mean, I would sit there, I would eat my little nuts on the rooftop. Like, I honestly think that'll always be one of my places because I know how to navigate walking around Paris from that particular hotel as well. That, and I also love Park Lane, Paris. Park Lane is also a hotel in New York, and it's a really good hotel as well. But Park Lane is in a super, super, super convenient place close to Galeries Lafayette and a lot of the other shopping experiences in Paris as well. So I love that hotel as well. Those were my top 2 in Paris. I also stayed in a... kind of like an Airbnb, but it wasn't an Airbnb. It was like an apart hotel near the Moulin Rouge. Didn't fuck with that. Don't recommend you stay on that street. That entire street is sex. Live sex shows. It's sex. It's sex. Okay, that's all I can say. And I didn't stay there long. I stayed there. I was usually supposed to stay there for like 5 days, and I ended up staying like 2 and then moving back to Park Lane because I love Park Lane. I loved Park Lane. I don't know why. This is a basic fucking hotel, but I loved it. I loved the area. I loved the vibe. Like, just me thinking about it. Oh, I just love it. I love the desk man. He was fine. Like, I don't know. I loved Park Lane. That was my favorite. Other than Belchas. I loved Belchas too. Belchas was just far from the shopping. So, and it wasn't far from the shopping because I also went shopping on Montaigne, which is the street with like all the designers. I might be saying it wrong, or I might be saying the completely wrong thing, but it's a street with like all of the major designers. And I wasn't far from that, and it was super close to La Gallery restaurant in Plaza Athénée where I had brunch. So either way, okay? If everything I'm saying is a fucking blur, just trust me and do the things that I just said in this video when you go to Paris. Trust me, okay? Now, anyway, going back to unnecessary things you can need. Fans, okay? A portable fan. No fucking cap. I was walking around with that bitch everywhere. And I had one where you can stick your hand through it. And then I had another one where you can put it on your wrist. So it's always in your hand. And them bitches last, okay? Get the ones that's like $10. And it usually like the fan like pops up somehow. Not the fat face fans. Them bitches die. The ones that are thin and they come out of this little thing and they just flip. They just spin. Like it's in my Amazon storefront, okay? I needed that. I would have 100% fucking passed out when I went to see Sacré Coeur. I hope I'm saying it right. I'll put the picture here. I almost fucking passed out getting into this goddamn shit. If I didn't have that fan, girl, I wouldn't have made it, okay? I did put adapters here. So like I said, the adapters, get the kit. It's just easier because later on when you travel in the rest of the world, you're going to need them damn adapters. So you may as well. And then you can also detach the adapter and use that plug in your home, because I basically use that plug now for a lot of shit I be having to have plugged up for the show, because it's like 10 different things can plug up into that one thing, okay? But it's once again the one in my storefront, because some of them, my mom had also got one when we went to Italy, and like hers had an extension cord that can expand. That one was cool too. So if I can find it, I'll put it in the storefront as well. Okay. The next thing is bring 3 pairs of shoes for every 2 weeks of your travel itinerary. Okay. 3 pairs for every 2 weeks. Okay. So the 3 pairs is 1 pair of heels, 1 pair of sneakers, and 1 pair of sandals. So if you're gone for 4 weeks, you need 6 pairs of shoes. Okay. If you're gone for a month, you need 6 pairs of shoes. And if you have that pair of sneakers or sandals, you really need 4 pairs of shoes. Because if you had that 1 pair of sandals that match everything, cool. If you got them 1 pair of sneakers, which I recommend some Dr. Scholl's walk-in sneakers. They're super cute. They're in my Amazon storefront. Can't believe I bought Dr. Scholl's, but I was either going to get those or the ones from Aloe. The ones from Aloe was $185. The Dr. Scholl's was $75. And they are the best fucking shoe. I would walk 15,000 to 17,000 steps a day in that fucking shoe, and my feet never hurt. I would be tired from walking, but my feet never hurt, okay? And that matters. So just wanted to put that out there. But I packed a fucking suitcase, girl, all right? I packed a suitcase that had like 10 pairs of shoes in it. Because, like, you know, this was me running away from the world. So, like, I didn't know. I booked a one-way flight to Paris and didn't know when the fuck I was coming back, okay? Didn't care. I was just getting over there, and I was going to figure out what I wanted to do once I was over there. And so I packed like at least 7 pairs of heels and 1 pair of sneakers and probably like 4 pairs of sandals. And I literally wore 4 pairs of shoes, 2 pairs of heels. 1 were nude and 1 was, I think, 1 was a nude heel that was perfect. It's my favorite go-to classy little heel. And then I wore, what did I wear? My Zara heels, which are like diamond bling with a pointed toe. Okay. And I wore my fucking sneakers from Dr. Scholl's and a pair of flat sandals from Fashion Nova because they were clear. Like, girl, what the fuck? Why do I got all these damn shoes? And then, like, when I flew back from Rome, I ended up having to pay $400 for one of my suitcases. I was disgusted. I could have left that shit, but I would never. You know what I mean? But, like, that's how much I was pissed. Why am I spending $400 on a fucking bag? Fuck Ida Airways, okay? That's why I flew back. Which it wasn't a bad flight. It was actually a really nice flight. It's a Roman, maybe. Either Roman or European Airlines, something like that. But either way, it was a good flight. Not even gonna lie. But why am I giving y'all $400 for this fucking bag? Only for my bag to get lost and me to crash it at the airport. That's a whole nother story. But basically, like, I had got a text as soon as the flight landed that my grandma was going to have surgery again. And it was so traumatizing the first time that I was just like, I don't know how I'm going to do this. On top of the fact that I just got back to America and I hate everything here because I feel like I'm meant to live in Europe now. and then my fucking bag is lost with my new Jimmy Choo heels in it and my makeup, I was done. I was pissed. I went in the fucking bathroom at the airport, sat on the toilet with fully clothed and cried. Then I went to the damn counter and cried to the damn Eater Airways lady about my bag. I didn't care. I was fucked up, okay? Anyway, always hire a driver, okay? And I recommend you hire a driver off of a valid source. If you don't know of any valid sources, you can look up companies or you can look up Viator. Viator is always good. I feel like it's going to be pricier because, I mean, Viator has to get their fees plus the company. But, like, I don't give a fuck. If my well-being is on the line, this is not taken, bitch. I'm not getting taken. I'm going to have somebody standing there with a fucking sign waiting on me to get out the airport. And that is what I did. Okay. Now, when I did get to Rome, I didn't because Rome was so last minute. But Rome was very easy because you could call a taxi through Uber. So that was cool because once again, you can track me through Uber, bitch. Okay. I'm never just hopping in the car with anybody. So period. I always hire a driver. Now, the next thing is Uber over taxi and taxis through Uber. That's one thing you'll notice I noticed in both Paris and in Rome. You should Uber over a taxi because it's going to cost less and you're able to watch it through the app. And then you can call your taxi through Uber. So you're set to a set fee versus like a taxi driver might drive a little bit slower or some bullshit because that ups the price of what the taxi will cost. Okay. So always Uber over taxi. And then if you do get a taxi through Uber because we did have to get taxis in Rome, okay? And also in Rome, they will just say fuck it and what's the word? Protest if some shit's not working, and they'll just say fuck it and not be driving. One day that did happen like for like 3 hours one day on me and my mom in Rome, and we literally couldn't leave the hotel because where we were trying to go we needed to Uber and we couldn't because they were protesting, and protesting meaning they weren't accepting any fucking rides. It was ghetto. I don't know what the fuck was going on there, but that definitely happened, and that happened in Rome. Okay, so this is my next advice, which is always pick a center hotel to start and then move 3 to 4 days to a new area. So me personally, when it comes to being in another country, I'm going to be there at least a week because what the fuck? How am I supposed to take this all in 2 days, 3 days? I ain't never understood people who travel like that. I don't need no packed schedule. If I want to go lay the fuck down, I'm trying to go lay down. You know what I mean? So either way, you need 7 days. But my personal recommendation is after the first 3 days, once you're settled in and you kind of get a vibe for where the fuck you at, especially being that you're in another country, move hotels to another part of the city because then you get to explore that part of the city. Because the one thing about European countries, you're going to walk a lot. So you want to be able to walk in areas where you can explore new things versus exploring the same shit every single day. So like I know the first night me and my mom were in Italy, the first night we were in Italy, the first 3 days we stayed in a hotel by the airport. Then after that, we moved into a hotel that was near the Trevi Fountain. And once we were near that hotel, we was able to walk everywhere. You know, we was able to walk to like cute little bites and stuff like that. And we were able to walk to the train station to get on the fucking high-speed train to go to Florence for the day. Cute. Okay, like one of the best trips with my mom. Shit, I lost my train of thought. Oh, but once we moved to the side with the Trevi Fountain, like we literally could walk outside, eat everything, shop, do whatever. So I definitely recommend that because that's what I did in Paris as well, but just differently. Like I moved into a place that was like super close to like Olympic events happening the first 3 days. On top of the fact that I wanted to get a full Parisian chic vibe. Like I was like, oh my God, like I just, nothing tops Paris, nothing. I like love it there. I love it there. But I remember getting to that first hotel and just be like, oh my gosh, like this is so fucking Parisian chic, bitch. Holy shit. Even the elevator sang. If you go and you look at my highlight on Instagram for Paris, you'll see me in the elevator and you'll hear it singing to me. It's really fucking cute. But yeah, so always pick a center hotel and then move 3 to 4 days into a new area. The next thing is keep your head on a swivel and don't be paying attention. And don't not be paying attention in the car or at the airport. So when you do get in the car with the driver, always pay attention. If they're asking you questions, never give answers to questions such as you being by yourself or like you're meeting with your mom. Or like when I was in Paris, I always would be like, oh yeah, I'm meeting up with my boyfriend. Like he's coming to meet me here for the Olympics. Oh my God, yeah, he's at the hotel waiting on me. Or oh my God, yeah, I just ran out to get a bite to eat. My man's in the room. Like different shit like that. Like I had a full man to the point where I had to remember when I was talking to somebody fine, like bitch, you might be single. Okay. But at the same time, you know what I'm saying? So, like, it's one of those things, you don't want people to know too much information about you. You do want to keep your head on swivel. You do want to hold, my next tip was literally hold your shit like a white woman in the hood walking through crowds. So when you holding your bag, where my fucking purse at? I don't know where it's at. Let's pretend this lotion is my purse, this is some good lotion, y'all. This is from Target. I know we boycotting Target, but I bought this before we started boycotting, so don't get on me, bitch. I don't want to hear that today. You need to hold your shit like this. Like, if I have a scoop bag because I have my travel bag, that bag is in my Amazon storefront. I swear to God, that's the best bag ever. That shit holds so much shit. I would have a full phone stand, books, mirrors, makeup bag, a fucking bag for all my chargers, everything in this shit, and it wasn't heavy. I had a pair of heels in that motherfucker because I would wear my sneakers to walk in, but if I'm taking pictures, bitch, I'm wearing heels. Like, literally, this picture, the picture that I put in front of Sacre Coeur, I have heels on. Those bitches were in that purse that's on my shoulder, okay? You holding that shit like this. I'm walking through crowds, that bitch is on my chest. You finna have to knock me the fuck out to take this bag. No cap. Because they do steal. You know what I mean? Which, I mean, honestly, shit. If I was fucking struggling in goddamn Europe, I might try to snatch some shit from an American too. Fuck. Because Americans are oblivious, okay? And it's like the way they'll do shit, especially when you're in Rome. Like, oh my God, all these people will kind of like put shit. I don't know if that's on here. I think it's on here as well. But like, people will literally like try to be all up in your fucking face. Like trying to sell you shit, especially in Rome. What's the men's synagogues? Senegal. I don't know. Sorry, y'all. I'm tripping. But yeah, them men are fucking crazy. This one man, and it's like they say, like, if they give you something and you hold on to it, they'll try to charge you for it. They act like they're giving it to you, but they trying to charge you for it. And one day this nigga threw like a little elephant in me, like a little keepsake or something with Rome on it. I threw that shit back. Don't be throwing that shit at me. I don't want this shit. Like, and you kind of have to be a little rude. And that's on here. As a woman in these other countries, do not be friendly as fuck. When men would be trying to stop me and talk on the street who have no business trying to stop me and talk to me, no, this is me. No. And I want y'all to understand I'm the coolest bitch. So just know the way I did that, no, my energy said, nah, let me leave her the fuck alone. She might be a crash out. Like, let's not. I'm not finna stop here on the street for you to be distracting me for somebody else to come try to snatch my bag. And then I'm on the side of the street in fucking Paris, confused with none of my shit. You're not getting me. No. Okay? The next one is wander often in the daylight and bring a book with you everywhere. So I wandered every day. This was like truly me realizing I was a grown-ass woman living my grown-ass life, taking care of myself, living my dream and shit. And I would pull out my little book, which at that time was Women Who Run with Wolves. And I would just pull my little shit out with my little spritz, Saint Germain spritz, and sit at the restaurants with a fucking cheese tray, my Saint Germain spritz with my feet kicked up on another chair, reading. I was set. There's nothing that compares, okay? The next one is carry a fold-up phone stand and don't be afraid to capture yourself so that you don't have to trust a stranger with your phone. Because what if you ask somebody to take a picture and they take that bitch and they run? I'm telling y'all, ain't nobody gonna ever get me. Knock on wood, Jesus always protect me, okay? But like, I always be thinking ahead. And like one time, this one guy, he was really sweet. And he was from Nigeria. And he was visiting Paris at the same time I was. And we were inside of, what fucking museum? Musée d'Orsay Museum. And it's this big ass clock in there. And we was all in line trying to take pictures. But then he was like, I can take your picture for you. And I was just like, I don't know if I want to give him my phone. So I really ended up giving him my work phone. Because like, if you try to take this bitch, fuck it. It's fine. You can have it. You know what I mean? But like, not my main phone. You know what I mean? But he was really kind. And he was really trying to take my pictures. And he was just trying to be a flirty black man. But I don't know you. I don't trust you. And you see me walking around with this fucking stand in my hand because it's literally this big. But when you unfold it, it's a whole stand. You know, it's the one from Selfie Show. Best phone stand. It fits perfectly in your purse, okay? But yeah, like, focus on being able to capture yourself. You know what I mean? So you don't have to have other people do it for you. But to each his own. If somebody comes cool, it's some cool people. I met cool people. One of the really nice things I did, I met this lady named Louise. She's so kind. She was from the UK. And I was at a restaurant called St. Augustine. St. Augustine was one of the places that I love to just grab a bite at. It's right next to Park Lane. So, like, it was one if I was on some late night shit and just wanted a bite, I would go to St. Augustine. But, yeah, so like I met Louise. She was sitting at the table drinking wine by herself, and I was sitting at my table behind her, and she heard me speak English, and she turned around and she's like, "Oh my gosh, it's so nice to meet someone who speaks English," because you know she speaks, she has that accent from the UK. And I was like, "Oh my gosh, same." Yeah, obviously I said it with a fucking, you know, English accent, and then I didn't say it with it. Obviously I didn't say it with an English accent. Is what I meant. But she was like asking me questions and stuff. You know, I'm there during the Olympics, and so she ended up asking like, "Do you mind if I come and sit at your table?" And you know, I was like, "Actually, come on, Louise. Like, you know, I haven't had a dinner with any woman like here at all. Like, sure, come sit at the table." And we ended up having dinner together, and I had dinner with a stranger, and it was just so nice. Like, and St. Augustine has this little deal where you get dinner, coffee or tea, and a dessert. And so we both got that, and like we were just able to talk and laugh and just talk about escapades of being women and running around the world. And like she had been going to different places, and she had met this guy in this other country who was like trying to finesse her and out of money, because she was an older woman. She was probably like in her 50s. But she was just so fucking cool. Me and her have each other on WhatsApp. So if I'm ever in the UK, I'm gonna hit up Louise, you know. But yeah, like that's the type of shit, y'all, like that just, I don't know. I'm telling you, that was the best trip of my life. My next thing though is be kind but not friendly, and never answer too many personal questions. You're always on your way to your man. Like, I think the only personal conversation I probably had was with Louise. And I mean, you know, when you can have a conversation with people like that. Like, this is an older white woman with a knee brace on, walking around Paris, and it's like y'all know I'm like, all this list should tell y'all I know when a person is sus, okay? So that's probably the one person that I like talked about life with, you know, and still without sharing too much of my personal information. But that's probably the most personal conversation I had my entire time throughout Europe. I would literally pick a story for whoever the fuck I was dealing with, especially if it was a man. Whatever makes sense in this moment is what I'm going to tell, because I don't tell any of my personal business to a stranger. So be friendly, but don't be too fucking nice, okay? And a lot of people are really kind. I didn't encounter anybody that was rude. You'll hear a lot of people talk about black women being mistreated maybe in Paris or being treated rude. That was not my experience in any degree. I felt loved. I felt wanted. I felt valued for being there. Like, I loved it there. I loved it there. I couldn't go nowhere without a fucking server flirting with me. Like, it was just a beautiful experience for me all around, okay? Now at the end of this list, I did put carry-on duffel in what one suitcase is possible, okay? So if you were going for a month, a carry-on duffel and a suitcase carry-on is possible, okay? 2 carry-ons is possible, like a dragging suitcase and a duffel bag, or checking one bag and having a carry-on. It's possible. For me, I didn't know that because this was my first time going to Europe, but you know, like I said, it's possible. I probably would still have to have at least one checked bag, but I'm an extra bitch, and I don't really want to buy everything this fucking size. I kind of want full size shit sometimes, okay? So that's just me. And then the last tip I'm going to give you that should be relevant, you should understand at this point, but when you're going to another country, learn basic language out of respect, and always greet people as common courtesy. If you don't greet people in Paris, if you don't get in the car or walk in the store and say bonjour, girl, you better be prepared for some shade. They don't play that shit. We rude as fuck in America, but they not. You know what I mean? So be a good person. Be kind. Be gracious. Be full of love and light. You know? And learn the words. Like, and one thing y'all know, I'm finally back on now that, like I told you guys at the beginning of this week, this is my week of solidification. Part of my solidification is getting back into my French lessons, because I'm hell-bent on being able to speak fluent French, okay? And just for the well-being, because I think I would be so hot speaking French. I would be undefeated. Nobody could fuck with me. And that's really how I feel. You know what I mean? So if you're new here, enchanté. And if you've been here since the beginning, au revoir. See you in the next video. Love you.